welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 1141 and Doubleshot number 1035. I have one Marvel trade and one DC trade for you. First up is The Hunt for Wolverine, Claws of a Killer. This collects the Hunt for Wolverine one-shot that started this whole series of 4 miniseries that are 5 issues. And, of course, the titular miniseries. Now, you're probably looking at this trade cover like, wait, don't tell me the Tracer does the interior artwork. Nope, he doesn't. Which people are like, oh, thank God, we don't need to see the Tracer's artwork drawing Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, and Daken in this book. Yeah, they're the main characters of this miniseries. Yep, no, he doesn't do that. Here's the thing. The main one-shot, which is in here, they also collect in the other trade paperbacks to collect this little mini event. Yeah, that's written by Charles Shaw. And there's like 2 stories, Secrets and Lies, artwork by Dave Marquez, and there's Hunter's Pride, which is done by Pablo Sacria. Mostly put Hunt for Wolverine number 1 is mostly put just set up for the mini-series. Like I said, with Iron Man, that sets up Ant-Man Agenda, which I'm going to get that. Daredevil sets up Weapon Lost. The stuff with the X-Ladies, that's set up for Mystery Manjapur. Of course, there is set up for this miniseries too, when you have Sabretooth, Daken, and Lady Deathstrike go and search for Wolverine. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. They do explain how the heck he got out of that strange metal statue he's been stuck in for, at this point, I think it's been about 4 years. Let's see. This miniseries was released in 2018. Yeah, he came back after 4 years of being apparently dead. Yeah, and how they get him out is quite interesting. Kitty Pryde does it. Yep, just phases Wolverine's corpse right out of the statue with the claws. Yep. So by the time, and then we have the Ravers go searching for the damn thing. They open it and Wolverine's not there. Of course, on flashback, yeah, the Ravers. Oh boy, and they're led by Donald Pierce. I'm thinking, wait, aren't you dead? Didn't Cyclops basically blast you to move in? No, he got rebuilt. Somehow he's back. It's not actually explained here how he came back. And then, of course, we have, Lady Deathstrike mentioning that, my former associates basically went after him. So, basically, they go searching for him. Instead, they find a group of zombies. 2 of whom, basically, that Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike know. Daken sees somebody. They don't explain what the thing is with him. Mostly put for this miniseries, it sets up a one-shot called Dead Ends, which is just a follow-up to this one. Now, who does Lady Deathstrike confront? What's the zombie that she faces off against? Her own father, the same man who was apparently killed by Wolverine himself. Sabretooth faced off against his dead son, Graydon Creed. Now, those of you who don't know who the heck Graydon Creed is, he is an old X-Men racist. Oh my gosh, this guy is a notorious bigot against mutants. This guy is the son of not only Sabretooth, but also Mystique. Yep, Mystique is his mother. And here's the strange thing about Graydon Creed. He has no powers. He was born powerless. Never explained why the heck that was. How he was conceived was basically, Sabretooth and Mystique had a one-night stand, which years later turned to a regular relationship. Yeah, that's how he was conceived. And then after he was born, Mystique abandoned him. Yeah, that's his backstory. And he hates mutants because of that. You probably think, okay, if his mother is Mystique, does that mean he's Nightcrawler's brother? Yes. That means he's also the brother of Rogue, who was Mystique's adopted daughter, which of all of her kids, she cares more about Rogue than her own biological children. That's Mystique for you. And the Mystique is known for, a woman who is openly bisexual. Yep, that's Mystique for you. Yeah. Now, last time I saw Graydon Creed, he got his corpse fried by Hope Summers back in Second Coming, 8 years prior to this. Apparently, he was resurrected again as a zombie. Let me explain about a little more about Graydon Creed. Graydon Creed was also spawned of an organization known as the Friends of Humanity, basically a bigoted group which they would kill mutants apparently in self-defense, even the mutants were basically doing nothing. Yeah, he led it for some time, went insane, came back to the group, and at one point, this guy was a politician. Yes, Graydon Creed tried to run for office. And at one point, he actually got killed. Now, apparently the plan was to have Gambit kill him originally, and then it was changed to an alternate version of his mother, Mystique. Because of reasons. It was never really explained. He remained dead for years, until Chris Yost and Craig Kyle resurrected him in the pages of X-Force. How in the world he came back is quite bizarre, to say the least. He was brought back via a frickin' virus, made from a dead body of Warlock's son. Now, this is not Adam Warlock, the alien, the one who's the cool character, the one who's going to apparently be one of the main villains of Guardians 3. Not that guy. Oh no, not him. I'm talking about the techno guy. Yeah, he has a son named Magnus. And basically, Eli Brand took elements of his corpse to make a virus and revived not only Graydon Creed, but also Stephen Lang. Bolivar Trask, the man who created the frickin' Sentinels. Yes, the creator of the Sentinels. Which apparently was revealed in the House of the Community. I forgot to mention this. Yeah, apparently that this other, I think Mystique was responsible for killing all these other members of the Trask family for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's Mystique for you. I think who else was it? Let's see. They also brought back William Stryker and his disciple Matthew. William Stryker is from the critically acclaimed God Loves Man Kills one-shot. Yeah, but in the case of Graydon Creed, he didn't do very much as part of this council of people led by frickin' Bastion. Yes, Bastion. Yeah, the Bastion himself later came back in X and Blue. Not Graydon Creed. How in the world he got brought back as a cyborg is not explained here. He just back for some reason. And at one point, Sabretooth and Deathstroke abandoned Daken for some reason. And they go up back to the Weapon X series, which got cancelled. Yeah, it actually got cancelled, I would say, not long after this miniseries wrapped up. They head back there to see the series end. But this is an okay It's actually a pretty good miniseries. Good development for both Sabretooth and Deathstroke. Not much for Daken, surprisingly. Now, this miniseries is written by Mariko Tamakai, who was at the time, just after this, I think just after this miniseries release, at least come out at the same time, she also was writer of the She-Hulk series, the one where she was gray for a brief period of time, and then back to being green. She also wrote X-23 Volume 4. Yep, she wrote that. That was a good volume, but I didn't like the fact that they made Laura X-23 again. An okay miniseries, but mostly the best thing about this thing is the interior artwork. And, of course, seeing the connections development for both Graydon Creed and, for both Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike. Yep, give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. Pretty good miniseries. And don't worry, I'm planning to get in the others, so I will be covering the rest of Hunt Wolverine. Yes, I have reviewed reviewed the Return of Wolverine. I have not reviewed Wolverine the Infinite Gauntlet, which came right after that. And here's the strange thing about Wolverine, right after Wolverine Infinite Gauntlet came out. Prior to his recent ongoing series with Ben Percy, which, here's what Marvel did. They gave him a feature briefly revived Marvel Comics Presents and gave him a handful of one-shots. That's all Marvel did for Wolverine before finally gave his own ongoing series again. Alright, next up, moving to the final trade of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Volume 7, Darkstars Rising. This collects the last 9 issues of the series, written by Robert Venditti, artwork by Ethan Van Sciver, who was one of several artists in this book, along with Rafael Salvador, Fernando Pesari, Clayton Henry, Brandon Pearson, and Sergio Devalia. The cover art is done by Tyler Kirkham and Alf Perito. Yep. Now, with this particular one, why is it called Darkstars Rising? Because it's a rise of Darkstars. Yep. Now, in this storyline, we have many things happen. Like, the Darkstars become active, and they apparently gain sentience without the controllers controlling them. And they're in prison. They didn't do very much in this storyline. Yeah, it's like Venditti basically built the controllers to be a credible threat to the Guardians of the Universe and the Green Lantern Corps, but he basically made pansies for the Darkstars. And the Darkstar 1 went to Tomar 2. Yes, a character who was not seen for a while ever since he killed a murderer. Yep. So he was offered, hey, you want to come host me? And he's like, you want me to host for me and enforce lethal and use lethal force? And he says, oh yes, I accept. Oh yeah, and they also talk about how his father died. His father died in the original Crisis Universe miniseries, and he was killed by Goldface. Yes, Goldface. Yeah, the thing is about Tomar Reed's person who killed him, it's barely mentioned in DC Comics. It's very somewhat an obscure factoid about Tomar Reed. Yeah, how did Goldface kill him? Snapped his neck. Yep. So what did Tomar 2 do? Go straight to Goldface's cell and killed him. Turned into a frickin' skeleton. So Hal Jordan pays a visit to Earth. Also, meanwhile, this is going on. Yeah, the rest of the course before this, Hal, Kyle, John, and Kai tells them, hey, the Darkstars basically are back, and we need to stop them, and they apparently have been killing a lot of people. The Guardian's like, yeah, we agree. We're going to take them down right now. I want you four to assemble a big force to take them down. So, that leaves basically him on Earth. Now, where was Goldface being kept, you might ask? He was being kept at Iron Heights, of all places. Why do I say it's Iron Heights? Because the Flash shows up. Yep, Barry Allen himself shows up. And it suggested they could contact the Justice League. Nope, they never contact the Justice League. Who do Guy, John, Hal, and Kyle contact? Well, it's quite interesting of who they contact. Hal goes and gets, after deals with Barry Allen, he goes to visit Hector Hammond, a guy who they just brought back to the Green Lantern book after being stuck in the Superman books for the last several years. Which, thank you, Venditti, for doing that, because Hector Hammond is a Green Lantern villain, not a Superman villain. It's quite strange Abdel did that. Also, we have sort of a loose tying to Superwoman here, because apparently the one who was the warden of the place where Hector Hammond's being kept is the Atomic Skull, of all people. Yes, the Atomic Skull, who is a Superman villain. And Hector Hammond tries to kill him at one point, but Hal's like, don't kill him. He's like, okay. And he goes off, and they set up basically a series of minor adventures, eventually leading toward the end of this ongoing series. Who does John Stewart recruit? He goes to recruit General Zod, of all people. Oh gosh, yes. Before this, they try to infiltrate the Darkstar HQ, and we need some help. That's the reason why Hal went to recruit Hector Hammond, because he wanted trouble in relief. Okay, fine. John recruit General Zod. Fine, he was just featured in the last trade. Who does Kyle Rayner go get? Well, first he goes gets the Space Cabbie to take him to New Genesis. Why? Because he wants Orion. Yes, he wants the son of Darkseid to take on the Darkstars. Highfire's like, no, we're not going to participate. Pass. And he's not going to participate either. He leaves. Orion's like, tells his guards, screw my father. like, I'll deal with it. Go on. And he's probably thinking, yeah, screw him. He's an idiot. Yeah, Highfather, believe it or not, the way Venditti writes him, he is a complete idiot. That is how Rob Venditti writes Highfather. Yes, a character who was created by the late great Jack King Kirby is reduced to being a big, humongous jerk. That's Venditti for you. Also, there's a mild reference to, I think, oh yeah, it was actually for the events of Dark Knight's Metal when Kyle Rayner saved the life of Orion. Now you probably think, okay, how recruited Hector Hammond? Johnson recruited General Zod. Kyle Rayner recruited Orion. Who did Guy Gardner go get? Arkillo! Of course. The only Sinestro Corps Lantern he can find. The only one he actually trusts, mind you. And they form a team. I'm thinking, okay, so you recruit a Suitman villain, a guy who's an actual Green Lantern villain, another Green Lantern villain in the form of Arkillo, and Orion, one of the new gods. Interesting. And I'm thinking though, and they was pointed though, why not just help? Why not ask the help of the Justice League? They can also help too, but nope, we have to ask these people for some reason. Now, maybe Venditti did want to use the Justice League, but, and this is my personal guess, I think because that DC did not want to interfere with whatever Scott Snyder was doing with Justice League at this point, he's like, no, we're not going to touch them. So, yeah. So we have an all-out war where we have the Green Lantern Corps, General Zod, Arkillo, Hector Hammond, and Orion versus the Darkstars. It's an epic brawl that lasts about the last couple issues of the series. Hal, of course, thinks, oh yeah, the way Venditti writes, like, oh yeah, I had to be the one taking on Tomar too. He fights him and he wins. By the way, how does General Zod get recruited? He's like, John Stewart's like, do you remember Tomar Reed? He's like, I'm listening. He says, oh yeah, his son is part of the Darkstars. You want to go kill him? He's probably like, oh yes, I want to kill him. Guess I want to avenge the death of my people. Yeah, avenge the death of the Kryptonians. Yeah, despite the fact Bendis later retconned was some alien guy who was ordered to do it by some cult that they revealed in the pages of Supergirl. Yeah, it's quite strange what Bendis did with Krypton stuff. Superman himself wasn't altered because Bendis is known for his humongous retcons, but that was retconning what happened with Krypton. He didn't touch Superman's present stuff, which thank you, Bendis, for not doing that. Yeah, and Tomar 2, in order to atone for his sins, kills himself. The controllers are freed by Hector Hammond and Hal Jordan before this, and as for the Darkseid themselves, they, even though their suits were destroyed, they agree to stand trial for their crimes, and, well, that's how the series ends. And of course, it has a great happy note that I'm sure a lot of writers probably won't do much with Hal Jordan reunited with Carol Ferris and them kissing. Yeah, this overall is really good. Give this book a 10 out of 10 epic story. Yep. Though, I had to point out, though, this is something that I think a lot of fans can agree that DC has never pulled a trigger on this. Despite the fact Jeff Johns teased this at the end of his run, that Hal Jordan and Kara Ferris will at one point get married. Why in the world DC has hesitated to do this for years has never been explained. They apparently don't want Hal Jordan to get married, despite the fact he really does deeply love Carol Ferris. I like the fact that he's back with Carol Ferris again. It's similar to what happened at the end of the Jeff Johns run. But yeah, this overall was a really fantastic series. I'm going to show off all the trades, basically, that are part of this series. Here is Volume 1, collecting the first 7 issues of the series. That was not really going to say reference to here. Volume 2, which has 8 to 13. And this is Bottled Light, which has the last appearance of the Pretty Lobo and has the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps, where they're led by the daughter of Sinestro, fighting Brainiac in his late Bronze Age look, which I thought that was cool. You have Quest for Hope, which is the return of the Blue Lantern Corps. Yeah, we also have here, and also forgot the fact this guy appeared. Larfleeze. Because of course Larfleeze. Yeah, and Kyle Rayner went back to being from a White Lantern to a Green Lantern. Yeah, was set backwards in character. I heard a couple people actually were not very happy with that. But, my opinion, it's fine. He's back to a look I do like for him as Green Lantern. We also have Fracture, which is the end of the alliance between the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps, which has been there since, issue 8. Yeah, it took them 20 issues, with basically about a year. This is the storyline which had Tomar 2 go to jail because he killed a member of a species. Volume 5, which is basically following up with something half-page of Superman and a return of Hector Hammond. Basically, this trade loosely helps set up the end of the series. And it was also the first trade, because you notice though, here is Volume 5, Volume 4, with the DC Universe Rebirth logo on it. This is the first one of the trade series to not have it. They took it off, and I should point out that the spine basically had this whirly blue stuff on it, and then here, the spine looks pretty much the same except it's just solid blue now. Yep. I want to throw this in here as part of the trade series, even though it technically isn't, but it has one issue from the series, Dark Knight's Metal: The Resistance. Yeah, because Hal Jordan Lenz Corps issue 32 was a tie-in to the events of the series Bats from Hell. Volume 6, which I reviewed very recently, Zod's Will. Yeah, this is something else that apparently Venditti decided to follow up with Superman. And of course, Darkstars Rising. These are all the trades that are part of the Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps series. These are really damn good. Yes, if you're a Green Lantern fan, you will thoroughly enjoy this. This, in my opinion, is actually better than Venditti's original era. Like the first time he wrote the Green Lantern books, because he wrote basically now here's the thing. Jeff Johns, for the previous Green Lantern book that came before this one, or just simply called Green Lantern, yeah, Jeff Johns wrote the first 20 issues of that, and the next 32 issues were written by Rob Venditti. It came with the book in 2013. He was on this book for, as the end of this book right here, I think it was 5 years. 5 years he wrote Green Lantern. And yeah, I still haven't reviewed yet anything of Venditti's run for the main Green Lantern book, which started from issue 21 and ended with issue 52. Yep, I will eventually review that because I have plans to that. But this was a great series, and if you love the Green Lantern Corps the way it was when Jeff Johns was writing it, it has sort of the Jeff Johns flavor with it, which I do appreciate that. Plus, throwing in stuff from the 90s like the Darkstars and throwing the Controllers, the Space Cabbie, that was quite nice. And the Sinestro Corps, that was cool too. But the thing is, aside from the fact you had to read Green Lantern or understand the start of the series, you also had to read not only Green Lantern, but also Sinestro and the Green Lantern Corps Army, like Green Lantern Corps Lost Army and Green Lantern Corps Bolivian, which all this stuff leads into this. Basically, you have roughly 4 series along with the Green Lantern Corps series. You pretty much have to read all the Green Lantern titles in order to lead to this. New Guardians does not lead to this at all. A little bit with Kyle Rayner. Yeah, but this overall fun series to read, and I do highly recommend it for people fans of the Green Lantern series. You have a freaking blast with this. Yeah, and here's the interesting thing when it comes to these trades. They're pretty decently priced. Now, this one here was $17.99. This is just the first trade. Here's the last trade, which is very reasonable. Yeah, the last 90 issues of the series is roughly $19.99. Roughly a $20 trade. Yep. Well, it's well worth paying the price for these things. Now, the first 4 trades I got from Barnes & Noble. And for some reason, they had Volume 6 for some reason, but they didn't have Volume 5. I'm not sure why the heck that was. And they apparently decided to stop picking up in the store I was going to. So these last few trades I did for Hal Jordan Galactic Corps, I had to buy from Amazon in order to basically fully get the entire series. Now the Resistance one, that one I did get Barnes Noble. But these last few trades, got from Amazon. But it's well worth paying from Amazon to get these last few trades. And well, that's pretty much it for this particular review. Now I would do another video tonight, but there's not much time tonight, so I'll probably do another one tomorrow. Basically, I'm hoping to do One Piece tomorrow, maybe another Comic Corner, and also here's another maybe Fire Force if they have new dub tomorrow. Okay, next video. Bye.